And we are back on Sportsman Radio. I'm your host, Chris Schanfeld, and I am now joined by University of Nevada alumnus and NFL cornerback Isaiah Frey. Thanks for joining the show again, Isaiah. Long time no talk. How have you been?
I've been good. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Now, before we start this interview on you, I want to get your thoughts on a former teammate of yours in college who is now with the 49ers, quarterback Colin Kaepernick, who is now a star in the NFL. And it really wasn't until a primetime game, Week 11, against the Chicago Bears, when he got his first NFL start due to Alex Smith being injured. We've seen some really good things from your former teammate, man. He led his team to the Super Bowl against the Baltimore Ravens. Although they came up short in that game, what are your thoughts on the performance of your former teammate, Colin Kaepernick?
It's not surprising. Seeing how he prepares for each game, it's just his training regimen and everything like that. You can see this happening in the near future. And matter of fact, when we played him that day against San Francisco, that was his first start. And I talked to him before the game. He's excited about his start. And he came in and took advantage of it. And then the rest is history. And just seeing him how he did that, and it wasn't surprising to me at all.
And people now consider him a star in the NFL. And I know we've seen some things from Michael Vick, RG3, the mobile quarterbacks out there. But it seems like once we've seen Colin Kaepernick do his thing, everybody just went crazy.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of people might not know he's very, very intelligent. And I think that's what gives him an advantage. That times his athletic ability just creates what he's doing on the field now.
Now, after a big play or a touchdown, he would, kiss his bicep and would even trademark that move, and now we know it as Kaepernicking. Would he do anything like that in Nevada?
No, he would never do that. Our coach wouldn't let him do that.
All right, Isaiah, let's talk a little bit about you and your career. Almost a full year ago, you were drafted in the 6th round of the NFL draft by the Chicago Bears. Pretty cool because I know your father was a Bears fan and even named a dog Peyton after the great Walter Payton, and Bear because of the Chicago Bears. Is that right?
Yeah, that is right, man. Those 2 dogs are great.
What was your father's reaction when he, found out that you would be with the Bears, his favorite team?
It was kind of crazy. It was like out of all the teams in the NFL, it was crazy how it was his team and the team he grew up, worshiping and loving, and it was kind of a surreal dream, and it was a dream come true for everybody in my family, and it was a blessing.
Now, I know you were with the Bears during the training camp and preseason. We actually seen some really good things out of you during those times. But once the regular season came around, were you on the practice squad? Because I know I never heard anything about you being cut, but I never really seen you after that.
Yeah, I was on the practice squad all season last year.
All right, yeah, I was just curious, and of course we've seen some huge things, some crazy things out of Peanut Tillman and Tim Jennings. What are your thoughts on the season they had, both of those guys?
It was fantastic. Those are 2 of the best cornerbacks in the league, and they did what they're capable of doing, and they basically, they were the best duo in the league last year. And for me personally, I think I was very fortunate just to sit back and watch how they prepare every week and go about the business.
Yeah, I believe Tim Jennings led the league in interceptions. Peanut Tillman had to. It'd be crazy to think he did not lead the NFL in forced fumbles. As a cornerback, what would you rather have, a forced fumble or an interception?
Always as a quarterback, everybody wants an interception. That's what it's about. But because as a corner, you really don't think about forced fumbles. But now that you see Peanut doing it, then you have to think about it. So that's another stat you can really think about. There's not really many corners in the league that can do what Peanut does.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And, now right before we talk about the NFL draft, as we know, I believe it was New Year's Eve, your head coach, Lovie Smith, was fired after a 10-6 season. What were your thoughts on losing Coach Lovie Smith after one season with him?
I was kind of disappointed. I was that whole year. I loved Lovie, man. He was cool. He gave me an opportunity at the lifetime, and I was very thankful for that. And it was kind of disappointing to see him leave after my first season. But Coach Trestman is a very good coach now. This last mini camp, it was a good camp. Seems like he has big plans in store for us. So I'm excited.
Yeah, mini camp just started. Can you tell us how that went for you guys?
It went well. offense look pretty good, and you know, they have a lot of more complexity to their offense that looks pretty good for the future.
Is it different for you to see Devin Hester not on the field during those offensive plays?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you know, you always have to worry about Hess when he was out in the field because at any time he can break loose down the field. But I see him getting in the offense sooner or later, you know, giving him the ball because, you know, you can't really have a dynamic player like that sitting on the sideline. Mm-hmm. You need him getting the ball as many times as possible. So I see him getting back on the offense here pretty soon.
All right, and we're going to see the Devin Hester we've seen maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, right? You know, the best returner in the NFL?
Yeah, definitely. You know, that's a guarantee, man. You know, Hess is one of the best, actually the best returner in NFL history. And, you know, he's going to continue to do that next season.
Yeah, man, I ain't going to argue with you on that one. Isaiah, the NFL draft is this Thursday. You were just drafted almost a year ago, man. Is it crazy to think that, you know, almost a year has already flown by?
Yeah, it is crazy, man. It kind of flew by, and it's crazy to think that it was exactly a year ago that this happened. And I can say this, you know, it was one of the most exciting years of my life.
And for these NFL draft picks, you know, whether they're going to be first rounds or seventh rounds or even sixth rounders like you, what advice would you give these guys, you know, entering the NFL, entering their rookie mini camps? I mean, I believe it was right after rookie mini camps ended was when I last had you on the show.
Yeah, I would just say to come in with an open mind, ready to learn, because you can't come in thinking that you know everything, because that's not even going to be remotely the case, because there's a lot of different things to learn once you get up to this level. And I think from my past experience, I think just coming in and learning from the veterans and the coaches, man, it helped me a lot. And I think it benefited me, you know, for this upcoming season.
All right, and I can't let you go without getting your thoughts on arguably the top draft pick in this year's draft, D. Milliner, cornerback out of Alabama. You're a cornerback, he's a cornerback. I got to get your thoughts on him.
He's good, man. He's he's very. I see he ran a fast 40 at the combine. Looks like a good corner, you know, good size and very good feet. It'd be interesting to see how he does when he gets up there.
Hey, man, there's a chance you might be seeing him 2 times a year if he gets drafted by Detroit.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely the case. He's going to have some trouble with Brandon, though. Tell him that right now.
Oh, yeah. And, hey, Isaiah, before I let you go, man, it's always a pleasure talking to you. I really appreciate the support. But this was the final question I asked you last year. I got to ask you again, what are some things we could be expecting from Isaiah Frey next season, well, this season with the Chicago Bears?
Just personally, you know, I want to be able to, you know, help the team win and contribute. You know, it was a good season last year for me, just to sit back and watch the 2 best cornerbacks in the league, you know, from out close and see how they go about the business. And I feel like this year, you know, I can get ready to come in and just contribute to the team, whether it's special teams or defense, whatever the team needs me to do.
Hey, man, I seen you in the preseason last year. I got to think you're better, and I really liked what we seen last year, so I really think you can make it to the 53-man roster. You going to keep the number 31?
Oh, yeah, I like that number, man. It was weird how I got that number because it was my high school number plus my college number.
Oh, wow.
And I thought that was pretty interesting how they assigned me that number, too, so, you know, I have to keep that number.
Hey, man, that means you're meant to be a Bear, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Isaiah, it's always a pleasure. Hopefully I can get you on maybe during the season or something. And until then, good luck and take care, man.
All right, thank you. You take care, too. I appreciate it.
All right, see you.